This is Rob Tebbutt for Behind the Gloves in association with Fresco Box. I'm delighted to be joined by Joe Gallagher. How you doing, Joe?
Yeah, not so bad, Rob. You?
I'm very well, thank you.
Enjoying Manchester?
I am. It's colder than I'm used to. I'm very much a soft southern fairy.
Right, okay.
Yeah, as you can tell.
You enjoying fight week?
Loving it. Yes, very, very good.
Who have you got? Groves-Eubank?
You know I can't say.
Come on, you ask me, I'll ask you.
I predict a great fight, Joe.
Yeah, same here. Proper splinters there, isn't there?
We started this interview on a good kill. Yeah, so thanks for having us down at the gym today.
Yeah, no problem.
Saw your man Callum looking very sharp in the ring.
Yeah, very, very sharp. Hitting very, very hard. And we can't wait. Everyone's excited for this Saturday, but we're excited for a week on Saturday.
Now he faces Jürgen Brähmer in Germany. Jürgen Brähmer surprised a few people against Rob Brandt, I think it's fair to say. Moving down from light heavyweight to super middleweight, produced a very good performance. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would. But you also got to look at the opposition. You had Rob Brandt, a small middleweight that moved up to super middleweight. So yeah, both spectrums coming together there. But fair play to Jürgen Brähmer. He did the 12 rounds well. He was good on his feet. He has very good technical ability. He was a very good amateur. He was a world-class amateur, and he still does a lot of. Not in a derogatory way, he does some amateur stuff still very well. Yeah, no, I was impressed with him, his shot selection, his feet, his timing. Yeah, it was an impressive performance from Jürgen Brähmer.
Were you expecting it? Because for me personally, I mean, I followed Jürgen Brähmer's career for a long time. He's been boxing as a light heavyweight, come down to super middleweight. It's usually kind of spells a recipe for disaster for fighters approaching a certain age. Still look relatively nimble, fleet of foot. Were you surprised to see that?
I was, to be honest, yeah, I was. I thought his work ethic was good, his shot selection was good, and I think, you know, that experience, being a two-time world champion at heavyweight, his shot selection, doesn't throw many, the ones that he does throw lands and hit the target, and he's very economical with his work. Yeah, and he hits very hard. If you look at his record all through the years, he's a good puncher, head or body, and yeah, it's a tough fight ahead, and everyone thinks, oh, Callum Smith's got to win, Jürgen Brähmer's 39. But you don't really know boxing, you've not really studied what's going ahead here. Jürgen Brähmer's still got plenty in him.
Something I spoke to Callum about just a few moments ago was sort of the time that he's had, not away from the ring in a sense of not fighting, but he's still very much so been in the gym. By his own admission to me, his performance against Erik Skoglund wasn't his best performance for a variety of reasons. Do you think the fight against Jürgen Brähmer is a closer fight now than it would have been perhaps 18 months ago?
Who said it wasn't his best performance here?
Callum, yeah.
Well, see, Callum's his worst own critic. I thought it was a very good performance. We analysed the fight afterwards, things that we'd worked on in training, he did. His feet movement was good. And it's bringing Callum from where he's come through, where he's fought for the British title and won it around against Rocky Fielding, then he fought Muhammad for the European title and won it around, and then he's on the world stage. When you're on the world stage, you don't just arrive and then start knocking everybody out. Erik Skoglund was a very good fighter, a competent fighter. I think he was ranked #1 in the WBO or the WBA at light heavyweight, and he'd come down in weight, and it was a good fight. Callum had 1 or 2 rounds to adjust and apply in the middle rounds, and he did that very well, and he showed, like he did against the Brass fight, he still carries power late on, as he did at Blackledge and against Skoglund when he dropped him late. So Callum Smith carries power for all 12 rounds. And I thought it was a good performance. It's exactly what he needed after being out a long time. 12 rounds, competitive 12 rounds, not a blow-over job, and I think it stood him in good stead, and he headlined in Liverpool, and he went over there, he's watched Brähmer, and he's put a great work ethic into this camp, and hopefully now we go to Germany and we get the right result.
You mentioned going over to Germany. There was some rumours or conjecture, shall we call it, a few weeks ago about this fight, whether or not this fight was going to take place in Germany or indeed at all. Just give us a little bit of an insight as to that. I understand that that was nonsense. Obviously the fight's happening in Germany. Where did those rumours come from?
When the fight saying it wasn't happening, got no idea where that came from. All I was saying, I got plenty of stick when I suggested that the fight should really be on neutral ground. Callum Smith obviously fought in Liverpool, but Jürgen Brähmer fought in Schwerin, which is just round the corner from his house. So both had home advantage. When it come to the semi-final, I just thought it would be fair that it'd be on a neutral ground, whether you put it on in Paris or Dublin or Monte Carlo, Monaco, wherever. But listen, it's in Germany. I know people say Groves-Eubank had to go to Germany, but he fought a Turk in Germany. But regardless of all, listen, the World Boxing Super Series, it's semi-final, it's in Germany. That's where it is now. We're knuckling down, we're training for it, and it'll just make the victory that more sweeter. When I've been there before with Matthew Macklin and lost a bad decision to Felix Sturm, so we're well aware, we're full aware of it, and I wouldn't be doing my job if I wasn't making people aware of what's gone on in the past, and we want a fair level playing field, and I'm sure the officials the WBC will supply with will do the job on the night.
You've actually stepped on my next question. So yeah, we went over there with Matt Macklin. You also had Paul Smith, his first fight with Arthur Abraham was another contentious decision in Germany. Was that what was underneath it all then? Are you worried, or were you worried about a potential home cooking situation with him going over to Germany, or was it just a case of, regardless, it should be neutral territory?
Yeah, it was regardless, and like I said Dublin was another option as well. I even suggested that they both went to America and both fought over there, because the World Boxing Super Series, there's plenty of complaints, as you see on social media. Oh, America this, America, there's only this American in it and that. Well, football, let's take Bramer and Smith, neutral ground to America. So it was just natural, just being on a fair ground, just like it'd be in an FA Cup semi-final. It was United Liverpool, it won't be at Anfield or Old Trafford. It used to be at Villa Park or wherever it used to be. Yeah, so yeah, that was all. It was just saying that, just have it on there. But the fact that it's there, then no problem. We'll go there now and we'll get the job done. The process period, really, I think we became mandatory after beating Mohammed, and then it was just a waiting game. Then we were promised the Badou-Jack fight, then he got involved with a unification fight, and then after the unification fight, then Badou-Jack vacated, then it became Callum and Darrell, and then it went to purse bids, and then it got cancelled, then it got put back, and then it changed location, and then it got put back again. And then the World Boxing Super Series came around, and I just needed Callum Smith to fight, and I just thought, for Callum, mentally wise, here's a tournament with 3 fights, you know when they are. You come out of it as the Muhammad Ali Trophy champion, a world champion, and now obviously the Ring Magazine belt attached to it as well. So it was good to know where we were, and if you look back in hindsight, it was the right move, because not long after we'd gone in it, Darrell gave up the belt, didn't fight, and now, like you say, Benavidez and Gavril fought, they're fighting again, I think is it this weekend. So yeah, we were just being messed about really by Team Darrell.
Is it a relief to you that you've come into the World Boxing Super Series and you've got like 3 fights lined up? You know who you're fighting, you know when you're fighting. Does that make it a lot easier for you in preparation? Yeah,
100%. And I think at first everyone was a lot sceptical about going to the World Boxing Super Series. People saying, oh, it'll be over by Christmas. They don't have TV. They're doing the nut on money and everything else. But I just thought, wow, this is like a great format. And then when I found out George Groves and Groves-Eubank on it, you've seen the cruiserweight lineup, and that was like, well, it's something different. Let's give it a go. We were getting messed about for the WBC. There was talk of a De Gale fight, but that wasn't really a decent offer. So it was just like, right, let's go, and we know where we are. Let's plan our own route, and let's go in this. No one can deny we're ducking anyone. We're going in to fight the best, and we'll prove at the end of it we are the best. And it's give Callum plenty of momentum. He's been able to plan the 12 months of his career, and now from the beginning of the tournament, where everyone was sceptical about it and not wanting to go in it, now everyone's wanting to go in it. They're mithering Callum, Twitter, oh, do a featherweight one, do a light heavyweight one. So yeah, it's been a good success, and hopefully they carry it on. I think it's a great format, and I'd say it's like the Champions League of boxing.
It's worked out all right, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has.
Yeah. You mentioned Groves-Eubank. That fight takes place in a couple of days' time. Just break that fight down for us. How do you see that fight going?
To be honest, and this isn't being sounding ass, I've not really paid much attention. I'm totally focused on Jurgen Brain and Callum Smith. I've been asked my opinion a couple of times in a few publications. And from what I've seen, because I have studied them, I was really pleased when George Groves became world champion. I was really made up for him. Groves-Eubank, a big admirer of him, his work ethic, everything else. So I think I think Groves-Eubank is George Groves, and George Groves is Carl Froch from the first fight. I think the way that Eubank is trying to get under Joe's skin. George, is the motivation still burning as much as it was now he's become world champion? I think he takes very good calculated risks, George Groves, and he won't go in this tournament, didn't think he could win it. And he's with a good trainer with Shane McGuigan. They are now developing a relationship over a period of time that'll begin to gel. And it's fascinating, and rule of thumb in boxing history always says a good big one will always beat a good little one. So you've got to go with George Groves early. Anything after 7-8 rounds, Then you've got to look at Groves-Eubank, and that's only because I'm going back on one Eubank Billy Joe. When Billy Joe was moving, boxing, everything else, Chris couldn't really do anything. Billy Joe tired and Chris got to him, it became a Groves-Eubank fight, and I think the same type of thing will play out again on Saturday night. Whichever way, it's a fantastic fight, it's got everyone talking, and I for once can go to that Manchester Arena just as a fan, sit there and watch it.
But for somebody who hasn't analysed it, Joe, that was quite the breakdown.
All right, okay then. Well, I've not studied it as much, but that's just a snapshot of what I think.
Does the winner of George Groves versus Groves-Eubank Jr. win the World Boxing Super Series?
No, it's only a semi-final. They only booked himself a place in the final. The other semi-final is Callum Smith, Jürgen Bremer, and I feel people aren't hot with Callum Smith because his performance with Scotland. I think you've shown a bit of disrespect both to Callum Smith's performance and also Eric Scotland, who is a very competent fighter. But we're happy to let everyone else have the limelight, the press, the media. We're quietly working away, and we'll soon see now. After these next 2 weekends, I'm really excited who will be in the final, and yeah, it's good, it's exciting times, and this is what you want boxing to be about. You've got the Manchester Arena down the road, sold out this weekend, 20,000, and not a Mancunian headlining, so it makes a change from Anthony Crolla not being there, but no, it's good. It's two Londoners headline, well, a kid from Brighton and a kid from London headlining at the Manchester Arena. It's got to be a great night and a great fight.
I think Anthony Crolla will be there, he just won't be fighting.
No, yeah, he'll be there working somewhere along the line.
You mentioned about the people who are quite hot with Callum Smith for one reason or another. Has that sort of played into your hands a little bit? The fact that you've been able to go about your business while the circus of Groves and Eubank has sort of rumbled on?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's wrong. I think it's allowed us train, focus. I think the media attention that Chris brings and they're comfortable with that, fair play to them, that, but we just like to concentrate, get our work done. And you know when you're doing, you've got media obligations, this training day, they'll come and film this, they'll come and film that. And it can be a little bit annoying at times when you just want to fight or wants to train and go home and rest and sleep. And yeah, it's allowed us to do all our work, and Callum will watch it at home at the weekend, and we'll go to Germany on Monday and enjoy fight week, knowing that we've done all the work and without being minded too much.
Well, I hope we haven't annoyed you by coming in today.
No, not at all. It was good. Listen, it was a good idea while everyone's in town from Manchester to come and have a look at Callum Smith and see possibly the future winner of the World Boxing Super Series.
Possibly, or will he?
You never say never in boxing, but I'm usually confident in Callum Smith and in his ability, and this is his acid test fight now in Germany against Jürgen Bremer. It's a former two-time world heavyweight champion, light heavyweight champion.
Okay, well, Joe Gallagher, once again, thanks very much for having us down to the gym today.
Yeah.
Thanks very much for speaking to Behind the Gloves. Look forward to catching up with you soon.
Cheers, thank you.
Probably the fight.
Yeah, no problem, thank you.
Cheers, Joe.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate, thank you.
Hi fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you do so by clicking this icon right here, or else.